Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Greg Chadwick. I'm the founder of Chadwick Digital, the NDIS website design and strategic marketing agency. So today I really want to add some value in a short amount as possible. So when I started my NDIS business, if you don't already know, I'm also the founding and director of Simply Strong Sports, a not-for-profit disability charity that helps young men between the age of 18 and 35 living with autism and intellectual disabilities. So before we get started, I wanted to just show you down here on the screen. You can see right above my head it says there's a free recording of the Provider Accelerator masterclass. So that's something I'm giving away for a limited time at the moment. It's really going to help you gain that traction and that competitive advantage over people who have been really just tinkering around here for sorry, there's my WhatsApp. Tinkering around here and again for around 6 months to a year, and just help you get that extra leverage and shorten that learning curve for you. So without further ado, I really want to go over 3 things no one told me. So no one tells you about starting an NDIS business. So 3 things that I wish somebody told me before I started my NDIS business that would really help move the needle and help me get to my from point A to point B a lot quicker. So if I just move my head out of the way. So for starters, the number one thing is that you are no longer just a support worker. You're now an entrepreneur. So you really have to have that mindset shift that is going to take you from just being a support worker to now you'd have to start thinking about tax, accountants, wages, the SHADS award, documents, policies, procedures, making sure that you scale, making sure you've got enough cash flow coming in, all that sort of stuff. So right here it's really crucial that now you're starting and building a business development, your business development skills, that you now have the responsibility of staff and you have all these fiscal responsibilities of actually running a business. So, a lot of people get into this industry because, they really want to make a difference. Maybe they've seen some injustice and they want to make a change, or they want to have their own business and that sort of thing, but don't realize that maybe at some point that they're probably going to have to step away from their caring duties and have some kind of an exit strategy from some of these duties. Have an exit strategy from, okay, I'm not going to do any accounting and bookkeeping. Okay, I'm not going to do any HR or anything of that sort of stuff anymore. So have exit strategies along the way that is going to be able to seamlessly and let that sort of thing sort of stuff go, and eventually you're probably going to have to let the support working go and really focus on training your staff and making sure they're well equipped and they're well prepared so that you can still continue to make a huge difference and not lose control of your quality of your business as it starts to grow. So that's the number one thing that I wish someone told me when I started to get into this industry. And look, I quickly found out that I was starting an NDIS business that I now had a whole new set of problems. So that's not a bad thing, because basically owning a business is problems. It's one problem after another, and you have to really get good at problem solving, because it's just one problem at a time. Okay, just take one step at a time, and by the end of it, where you are now is going to be completely different to where you want to be in a year's time, or where you will be in a year's time, to 2 years, to 3 years, and you'll look back and say, wow, I can't believe how naive and how little did I know about this industry, or how little did I know about being an entrepreneur, and that sort of thing. So moving on to our next point is a really cool graph, and this is a concept that's been around for the last probably 40 years or so, and this is the provider entrepreneurial phases. So these are the phases you're going to go through, and maybe you've already gone through some and you're stuck right now, but these are the phases that all of you will go through at some point. As an entrepreneur, you will go through it. So starting here at number 1 is uninformed optimism. So this is probably something where, okay, you've been a support worker. Maybe you've seen that your boss is, really pretty crappy at his job, but he's got a successful NDIS business. Maybe your friend started an NDIS business, and he's, surely I'm more talented and I'm a better support worker than him, that sort of thing. And this is where you get excited and you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and start my own business. I'm pumped. I'm going to go do this. And then we move on to the informed pessimism. Sorry. So the informed pessimism. So this is where you all of a sudden start to research it. You're getting in. You just started your business. You've gone through that 15-point checklist that I've got. If you want a copy of that, definitely look at my YouTube channel to starting an NDIS business. There's one there that you can go through, and it's going to help you. But you go through your uninformed pessimism, if I can get my tongue right. And now you start seeing, well, this is a lot harder than I thought. There's a lot more steps than it actually takes to wanting to help somebody. Want to focus on the needs and the goals and provide people with choice and control. This is a little bit harder than I first expected. And now I actually know what steps actually comes into starting this business. Maybe your friend didn't actually reveal to you that it actually takes a lot to get here, or your boss is like, maybe he's gone through all these phases already, and you're just starting out. So don't despair. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And then most of the time, you're going to end up down here in the valley of despair. All right. So this is where most entrepreneurs give up. This is where most providers give up, and they just say, this is too hard. Put in the too hard basket. I've had enough. I'm going to go back to my 9-to-5 job. I'm just going to go get a support working job. Now, at this point here, I would recommend some kind of strategies to pull yourself out of this sort of stuff. And if you go enroll in, the provider masterclass, the provider acquisition masterclass, Accelerator masterclass, that I offer here for free. And like I said, if you want a copy of that, just go subscribe to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page or whatever it is, and let me know, and I'll send you a free copy. But I would recommend going into that, and that's going to really, I think, help you get over to that next stage of informed optimism, which we'll touch on in a second. But another strategy I like to do is my little black book. Okay, I got a little black book. Once a year, at the end of the year, I write my BHAG, my big hairy audacious goal down. So right now, my big hairy audacious goal is going to be to help 20,000 providers by 2030. Okay, so I've got a couple of years. I don't know how that's going to happen. I know I can do it because I know when I set my mind to anything, I can achieve that sort of stuff. So I don't know how that's going to happen, but I have a kind of a rough outline of maybe how I'm going to get there. But then we look at our yearly goal. So write another page for our yearly goal. All right, so this is where I want to be in a year. So we've got maybe 10 things of what you want to achieve. Maybe it has your family involved. Maybe it has your physical fitness involved, your work, all that sort of stuff. So that's your yearly. And then you're going to break that down into 10 things you're going to do in the next 90 days. So your 90-day goals on one page. So 10 things you're going to do in the next 90 days that is going to move the needle and really make the biggest change. Don't put little tiny things that are going to make those micro, changes. Basically, I'm going to create an offer that's going to help people with autism, and I'm going to launch that offer in the next 30 days. I'm going to connect with 30 support coordinators. Okay, this is where you need to. Once you write all this sort of stuff down, this is going to help you get out of the valley of despair. This is going to help you actually see a clear line of sight to success. Okay, because when you're in that valley of despair, when you're down there in that number 3 position, you start to cannibalize yourself, and you start to say, I can't do it, this is hard, how do these people do it, all that sort of stuff. So, but once you get out of that, then you head into our informed optimism. Okay, so when we look up to our informed optimism, that is when you have a clear line of sight and you know exactly, you know what it's going to take in order to succeed and get to your success. And probably maybe in success here is your yearly goal. Maybe number 5 here is your yearly goal. Maybe it's 3-year goal, 5-year plan, whatever it is. Maybe you don't want to be a huge organization. You just want 10, 20 clients, whatever it is, a couple of staff, be real family atmosphere, that sort of thing. So that, really understanding what success means to you is going to help you along that way as well. So it's a pretty cool graph, and I think if you think about it and you can put yourself in that position right now, and wherever you are, it's going to be knowledge. If you're in that 2 or 3 spot, you really need to continue to solve one problem at a time, and knowledge is power. Okay, that's why I'm offering this provider Accelerator masterclass for free so that you can really gain that wealth of knowledge in an hour and a half that is going to be probably the most valuable thing that you've ever gotten for free from this industry. All right, so let's move on to our second thing. So when we're looking at our second most important thing that I wish somebody told me before I started my disability service was that you will gain traction after you start to establish trust and authority. Okay, so right now you have no trust and authority in this industry. Why would somebody want to work with you? They probably don't. If you get lucky enough to land a client, then you start to build some rapport, some trust and authority and that sort of thing. And then maybe you're able to connect with the support coordinator, and the support coordinator has seen you've done a really good job, and then you start to build some trust and authority with that person. But one person's not enough. You really need to start to leverage that trust and authority, but it's going to take time. This might take a year, it might take 2 or 3 years, but you just need to take steps in the right direction. Make sure, if you're going to write your 90-day plan, make sure one of them is some kind of element of building trust and authority, because you can if you can see here, you need to put yourself out there. Okay, I know you might be an introvert, but just work on putting yourself out there. Make contact with 5 new people per week. Okay, if you make contact with 5 new people per week, you imagine what's going to happen in a year's time after 52 weeks. All right, so be an authority in a demographic or be an authority in a location. Okay, so there's other ways you can be an authority and where you can be an authority. So, if we're talking about location, you're going to be the best. You're going to work your butt off to become the best NDIS provider in Orange, okay, or in Bathurst, or in Sutherland, or in Logan, wherever you're coming from, in one of the small suburbs of Perth, or whatever it is. So you're going to work your butt off to become an authority in that location, but you can also work your butt off to become an authority in a demographic. So, like I said before, at Simply Stronger Supports, we support people living with autism. Actually, we support young men living with autism and intellectual disabilities between the age of 18 and 35. So we work our butt off to really become an authority in that niche. We don't need 100 clients. That's not something that's necessary. I'm not looking to grow that big. I try and help as many providers as I can, so that they can help as many as participants as they can. So that side of my business is good. I've got that trust. I've got that authority. Now, when we look at the other side of things, we can look at collaborations. If you collaborate with someone on a podcast, or if you collaborate with someone in your niche who already has that level of authority, automatically you can start to grab some of their authority and some of their trust when you're in a circle speaking to that person, and somebody comes over to you. Let's say we're talking a networking event or whatever. You kind of are in kind with that person, that you have that level of authority that's transferred over to you just that little bit. So collaborations are really good. You could maybe do a blog post with somebody, you could do an event with somebody, a community event, a free community event, whatever it is. Getting your names up there, you could put their name on your website, your name on their website, all that sort of thing. Building partnerships is going to help you. Especially within a website. So when we're building a website for somebody, so if you don't already know, we design websites that really specialize for NDIS providers. We want to try and build trust and authority within our website. That is our main priority when we're building a website, is that we have trust and authority. So, we can start with images that aren't stock photos. Images that are actually a selfie of you and a participant that are having fun, and you can see smiles, that sort of thing. Builds a lot of trust and authority. Having a proposition of value, the fact that you work with young men between the ages of 18 and 35, so people know that they're in the right place. You're building that trust and authority. Having a website that speaks the language of the NDIS, which is something we do really well, and we put a lot of focus into that, understanding that there are certain language traits that you need to use in this industry in order to build trust and authority with support coordinators and all that sort of thing. The other thing is having a really good offer. So having an offer that actually focuses on solving the problem of your target demographic. So what is the main problem? Maybe their main problem is social anxiety. You build a really cool program that focuses on social anxiety. They get together once a month. It's actually free. So, building trust and authority through that reciprocity is something that builds a huge amount of trust. When you give, you'll find, if you just go out there, If you go out there for the next 2 to 3 years, I'm not saying do this, but if you went out there, let's say you went out there for the next 2 to 3 years and all you did was give and you didn't have to have a salary and all that, and you tried to make an impact on as many people living with a disability, you think you're not going to have people reaching out and saying, hey, I want to work with you. Hey, can you work with me? That sort of thing. Man, you're going to build a lot of trust and authority, and you're going to be able to leverage that sort of stuff. So, case studies as well, having that sort of stuff on your website if you're able to get that. We helped this person do rah, rah, rah. Obviously, you have to look at media releases and all that sort of stuff, and reviews. Reviews are the most underestimated and underrated thing in this industry. I can't believe how many websites that I've seen that don't have Google reviews. I've got a free video over on my YouTube channel. If you don't already have it, go over there. It'll take you 5 minutes to get a Google business profile, and then you can send a link to whoever the hell you want, to anybody that you want, and they can write you a 5-star review. Okay, you don't even have to have any clients. You could maybe have a coworker that you used to work with and say, hey, buddy, can you write me a review of how you felt when you worked with me? Or what he can just write, hey, yeah, Greg was really cool. He always has the best mind for the participants in mind. So you can just write something really short, simple like that, and you can get 3 or 4 reviews just from people that you know that are willing to review your character trait. You don't actually have to have participants yet. And that kind of review, 95%, there was a statistic that happened recently. I can't remember what it was from, but they said 95% of people will read a review before they actually purchase anything online or before they enroll in a service online. Okay, so you better believe that if you've maybe met a participant or you met a support coordinator or whatever, they're going to come to your website and they're going to look at a review at some point. Maybe they'll look at the Google business profile, whatever. They're going to look to maybe just see, they might not even look for very long, but if they scroll up and say, oh, they got 5-star Google reviews, oh, they know what they're talking about. Oh, these guys actually with the target demographic that Johnny is in. Maybe that would be interested. Okay, so that's the kind of mindset that people go through when they're online and they're looking. They really scroll and they take their time, that sort of thing. Now, I appreciate you sticking with me. I just realized I've been babbling on for 17 minutes. If this is providing you with a heap of value, stick with me, or likes, comments, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and we'll keep going and keep rambling on, but hopefully it's been valuable for you. So the last one is really the shortcut is the process. There is no shortcuts in this. Please don't go out and look for an agency that promises to get you 20 leads, or they won't take any money. There's this sort of stuff that and look, it works, but in this industry specifically, it doesn't. Okay, I've actually spoken with top tier marketing agencies that say, and I've done Google and Facebook ads myself. I'm actually trained in Google and Facebook ads, and I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on Google and Facebook ads myself. But I just spoke to a top tier agency the other day, and they said to me, man, how come I'm not getting any clients in this industry? What is going on? This industry is a little bit different because the money's kind of coming from the government. It's not really their own money. There's a lot of trust factors involved. There's a lot of elements that come into play, but don't go out there and trust somebody that says that they can get you 10 or 20 clients and you only pay for those clients. You don't pay unless you go pay for those clients. Now, it does work in other industries, but I'm telling you, 99% of the time, it doesn't work in this industry, okay? This is a relationship-driven industry. You have to build relationships, and I'll say it a million times. You might hear me say it again. The fastest way to grow your business is through conversation. Have conversations, not necessarily about, hey, I need some clients. Can you give me some clients? Love some clients. Not like that. I want you to make relationships built on genuineness, because first impressions last, and you're in a small niche. If we're on the Gold Coast here, maybe, I don't know how many providers there are. Maybe there's 500 providers, whatever. First impressions last, which probably means there's like 100 support coordinators. When you want to make that first impression, you better be ready to have a really good pitch. You better be ready to have a really good offer and to start building relationships in a genuine way. So be ready if you're going to start going that cold calling outreach, and please don't start cold emailing. It just doesn't work. It's a waste of time, waste of your time, waste of their time. There's other ways to do it, and we go over it in the Provider Accelerator masterclass. So definitely download that, like, comment, subscribe, all that, and I'll send you a copy. So the shortest point of resistance is building a strong foundation, one brick at a time. You have to build a strong foundation. Don't be in a rush, okay? This is not, if you're coming into this industry and you want to make a whole heap of money really quickly, it's a wrong industry. I don't know what industry is the right industry, but it's the wrong industry. Nobody does that. They did 7-8 years ago, when the first NDIS started. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I've been in the industry for 17 years. Before the NDIS started, I was working in it, and then you saw the NDIS release, and then boom, you could just get clients. There was heaps of clients. Anyone could start a business and you would get clients. But it's a very competitive market now. So we really need to start thinking differently and change our mindset. And it's not that you can't get clients, because you really, really can. You just have to be a little bit smarter about the way you approach things. All right. So, and if you're building it fast and cut corners, you will see cracks. Okay. Any foundation, if you're cutting corners through any foundation, if you want to refer it to bricklaying or cementing or whatever it is, concreting, whatever that is, if you're building a foundation and you cut corners, you will see cracks eventually. Okay. So down the line, if you don't put all these checks and balances in place right now from day one, a year from now, you're going to create 10 times more work from yourselves. 3 years from now, when it comes to trying to enroll your staff members or whatever that is, or maybe you don't have the right insurances and that sort of thing, you will see cracks and you will make 10 times more work for yourself later on. And really, maybe all of a sudden 3 years down the track, you're like, man, I'm in the wrong vertical. I need to change my ideas. So make sure you just take it slowly. Don't be in a rush. And you'll be able to, and you won't be so stressed either. So, if you're coming into this because you're really strapped on cash and you really need to make some money, I don't know, this isn't going to work. Okay, this is something that is going to take time. And like I said in the previous slide that we were looking at, you need to build trust and authority, and that is going to take time. And these are just things, these are things that I wish somebody told me before I started in this industry. Okay, just keep that in mind. These are things I wish someone told me. Now, if you really want to reduce the amount of time it takes to reach your business goals, then hire an expert that are going to handle something that's out of your skill set. Compliance and procedures. I've just created a really great partnership with Provider Institute. So they're fantastic at what they do. Go over to their website, have a look what they've been doing. Provider Institute, really, really cool stuff. What they're doing. So look at hiring someone who's outside of your skill set. If you need a coach and you need to really gain traction there, look at that. If you need a web designer, look here. This guy, 2 thumbs. Really good. I'm really, really good, and we're really, really good at what we do because we focus only on NDIS providers and getting them results, building them trust, building them authority, all that sort of stuff. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and look on YouTube and look at our reviews, all that sort of stuff. And who else? Accountants. Maybe in the beginning you'll start with doing your accounting and bookkeeping, but head out and look for someone that we just enrolled with Retinue Accounting. They had some amazing packages, especially for their minimum fees when starting out, that just take care of everything. Like the people, these experts now can just handle this. So if you don't have time for this, and you want to accelerate that sort of stuff, and you want to have an exit strategy. When I say exit strategy, you want to stop being an accountant and bookkeeping yourself. You want to stop doing the compliance and all that sort of stuff. You want to do HR and all that sort of stuff. I've heard employee sure is good, that sort of stuff. So, I don't do everything. People ask me for advice, that sort of thing, and I can just let them know, look, I'm not a compliance guy. That's not what I do. I'm not an accounting guy. That's not what I do. I know stuff about these sorts of things, but to give you advice on that would just be, it would just be unjust from my perspective. But if you want advice on creating an offer, on really taking your business from no clients to 10 clients or to 10 or 20 clients, that's where I thrive. That's where I'm great at. If you want advice on creating a website that is going to help you look really good in this space, that's what we do here at Chadwick Digital. So look, the Provider Accelerator class, and I hope all that's been valuable. But the Provider Accelerator program is going to save you time and money. It's that old adage: you either got time, money, or neither. Okay. So the great thing is it's free, so it saves you money. And it's going to save you time. This is going to save you. I am not kidding you. I genuinely look you in the eyes right now and tell you that this is going to save you 6 months to a year, and it's free. All right. So my philosophy, and I don't know if you know this, but Chadwick Digital is a not-for-profit entity and a charity. Okay. So I over-deliver on everything I give as best price as possible on everything. I try and give as much free content as possible. It's in my best interest and in our best interest as a business to give through reciprocity. So this is a really, really cool program. So once again, if you want to get into that, all you got to do is or subscribe to YouTube, or subscribe to my Facebook page, Chadwick Digital. And I'll send you a copy. Let me know. Send me an email, whatever it is. Send me a message on Messenger, whatever it is. I'll send you a copy of Provider Accelerator Mastermind. And it'll give you that competitive advantage over people who have been in this industry for 6 months or a year, who are still trying to gain traction, who still can't figure this out. So look, guys, I hope that's been valuable. I know I've rambled on for 26 minutes. This was meant to be a 10-minute thing. I don't know what happened, but I appreciate if you stayed on the line for as long as you did. Make sure you check out all the other videos. There's heaps of other stuff: how to start an NDIS provider business, how to get NDIS clients, how to talk to an NDIS accountant, all that sort of stuff. Heaps and heaps. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye, guys.